our 5-month update. Time has flown by.
Yes,
Obviously we haven't done a video in like 4 months for obvious reasons. We've been working a lot. The only reason why we're able to make a video right now is because I took the day off for our anniversary. We have been married for 2 years today. Woo! So we're just enjoying the day together. It's rainy outside, so we're like chilling, drinking coffee. We went shopping a little bit, which we obviously haven't been doing any of, so that was kind of cool. We had some Christmas money. I bought this shiny jacket. Pretty excited about it. It just feels weird to buy stuff because we don't do that. So in 5 months, we have paid a total of $32,392.96 off of our debt. We started out at $112,660. So at this point, we've paid off almost 30% of our total amount of debt, which is basically all student loans and then 1 credit card. Like I said before, we started kind of backwards. We're not doing our debt snowball correctly right now because all of our loans are in forbearance. So we're paying off a few really bad ones that were at like 9% interest, and we're going to finish those by February, and then that will be out of the equation. And then we actually have our debt snowball ready to go. So it's all lined up, and we're excited to have more small victories because we've been chipping away at bigger loans. We had an $11,000 loan at 8.5% interest, and we knocked that one all the way out. We had a $9,000 loan at about 8% and a $5,000 loan at about 8%, and we have one more $18,000 loan at 9.5%, and that's the one that we're about to tackle. And it should be knocked out here in a couple months, and then we're going to jump down and we'll have more little $1,000 to $3,000 loans.
They are little compared
we will,
to what we've
yeah,
been
it'll feel
paying.
little. We'll go through those a lot faster,
good.
and that's going to be more gratifying as we go.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about is over the last few months, how we've gotten creative with regard to growing our income. We started out, we were making basically 90. And now we're making like 140. Really, I mean, we're working very hard. And basically all I do is work. Heather works a lot too. She has a huge commute. And so we're both, doing our fair share for sure. I've already said this, but whenever we first got on to baby step 2 and really started hammering all of this back at the beginning of August, I got a second full-time job. So I still am working part-time / full-time ministry. It's been a little weird because of COVID. A lot of the things I normally do, I can't do right now, which really stinks, and I don't love that it's like this right now. Like we can't have our choir rehearsals, we can't do a lot of the stuff we normally do. So it's a little unrealistic actually how things have worked out in a regular year, but in a way it's been a blessing because I've been able to work a lot outside of my ministry job. So I got a second job full-time working in construction, and that has gotten better and better, more rewarding, and I love it. And for side gigs, I've been on Facebook Marketplace selling stuff, and it's not just stuff that we owned because we didn't have a ton of stuff to begin with, but the company I work for, we do make-readies and stuff on rental properties, and we end up with a lot of like ceiling fans and doors and random stuff. I mean, some of it's very random. I have a Wheaties box over there from... Yeah, go grab it. So if anyone out there likes collecting baseball memorabilia, this is a Mark McGwire 70 home runs Wheaties box.
It's never been
that
opened.
has not been opened.
Is it probably real stale?
I don't care, but basically what that means that this... What is this from? It says 1998. This box is like a few years younger than me. That's pretty crazy. If any of y'all don't remember Mark McGwire, he got busted for steroids. This was probably before that happened. Anyways, I've been selling anything from Wheaties boxes to ceiling fans and light fixtures and stuff like that. Then the really sweet side gig that ended up being very lucrative was firewood. When December came around, it started getting cold by our standards in Texas, and people wanted to cozy up by the fire. I started cutting down dead oak trees at the church and turning them into firewood, and I made a pile. It was like 1.5 cords of firewood. And I just listed it on Facebook, and I thought, this will be cool, I'll just sell this firewood. And the demand was insane. There were so many people asking about firewood. I was like, I need to do more of this. This is good. And I actually like made a schedule. Every day after work, I did like 4 or 5 firewood deliveries, which obviously meant I was cutting and splitting tons of firewood. I probably cut down like 30 trees in that amount of time and turned them all into firewood. I ended up investing a little bit of my firewood income to buy a log splitter, which was super cool. That helped a lot. I actually recruited Heather to help me split some wood because it was literally impossible to keep up with the schedule I made for myself. And that was a very stressful week and a half. But in 1 week and a half, I made $2,000 selling firewood, which was pretty sweet.
We probably could have sold more.
And yeah, if I had been ready, I could have made $20,000 this month just selling firewood.
Yeah.
In 2021, I'm gonna start cutting firewood in July. I know people who have property and stuff, and I'll just collect dead trees, turn them into firewood, and I'm gonna have tons of firewood next December. And yeah, every day after work, I'll do a few deliveries and see how it goes. That was probably the best side gig so far. I drove Uber for a little while, which is cool because you can really work it around your schedule. And average, I think I made about $20 an hour driving Uber, but it is not fun. It is so dumb.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
sorry.
That's the only word.
I'm sure that other people are able to like enjoy it somehow. Maybe like driving in the day and taking people to work who are, you know, being responsible, but driving in the middle of the night every night after working a full day was the worst. So I only did that for a few months. That wasn't super fun, but it helped. It was about $1,000 a month. So as you can imagine, cutting firewood and making $2,000 in a little over a week and not having to talk to anyone was nice. That's my personality.
So
I prefer that. So that's side gigs. That's what we've been doing. Heather has some side gigs.
Yeah, I've been teaching some voice lessons on the side. Some of my students are in the same city where I work, so it's like I just go from work to teaching them, and then I come home on my big old commute.
Big commute.
And I'm wanting to get some more students this spring, so that will hopefully pick up.
It all goes into the pot.
Yeah.
It feels like each little thing isn't that big of a contribution. But then at the beginning of every month when we do our budget, we have this one big lump number, and it's like pretty sweet. I mean, every month we're making anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000, and this month we're gonna take home like $12,000 for our budget will be $12,000, which is the most we've ever had in our checking account probably ever.
Yeah, definitely.
It's crazy. So. And once again, I don't want it to sound like we're bragging. I mean, it's just been humbling. It's amazing. I mean, we're working so hard, but we could just as well be making a tiny fraction of what we're making and working just as hard. I heard Dave Ramsey say that whenever God sees you managing a little bit well, he gives you more. And I want to, you know, celebrate that, but at the same time acknowledge that God gives and takes away.
Yeah.
That's a reality, and he truly does. So he could just as well take it all away, and he would still be enough. And I want to just remember that going forward. But right now, the rain is falling, and God is blessing. You know, we're just literally spending all our money on our debt. We had one setback last month. I was being impatient, and I'm pulling out of the barbecue place where I met this guy. I was selling one of my firearms, and I'm pulling onto a really busy street. There's cars going this way and that way, and I need to go left. And I was sitting there forever. I was like, it's so dumb. And I looked in the mirror, and there was no one behind me, and I checked again to see if I was going to go, and there were people coming still. So I put my truck in reverse and just gassed it. Smashed into this lady who had just pulled in behind me. Because I had checked like a couple seconds earlier to see if anyone was there, so she zipped around behind me after I checked in my mirrors. Anyways, I backed into this girl. My hitch, the ball, went through her bumper and just like punched a hole in it. So anyways, that ended up being a lot more expensive than I thought. It was like a little more than $1,000. I was like, okay. So we paid the exact amount that the bumper cost to fix. And that was a bummer. That being said, I mean, in spite of that setback, we still paid $7,106 toward our student loans in November. How are we doing with all of this?
I feel so joyful and encouraged that we're chucking away. Now that we have a big number like 32,000 under our belt, like it just feels so much better, because at first I felt like we were just like, okay, let's start this thing, let's get into it, and then yeah, to have like an actual big number like 32,000.
It's like traction.
Is awesome. It feels so
Confidence.
good. It's so encouraging. I'm also very encouraged by the Facebook group, Baby Steps Community. And I see people post about their progress and what number they're at. And I'm very encouraged. Even if theirs is way bigger or way smaller than ours, I just know that we're not alone in this. And it works if you work it. Yeah, very encouraged. And I hope that y'all are encouraged too. Anybody watching this who's either in the same situation as us or wants to start chucking away at debt, you can do it. You just gotta commit.
In 2021, our goal is to be debt-free and have our emergency fund by the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's all for now. We're gonna get back to, well, celebrating our anniversary and then get back to working really hard all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back with another update sometime soon. For all of you out there who are on your own journey, keep it up. 2021 is going to be a good year for you.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep your head down. Surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep saying no to things that you want to say yes to. So we love you guys. Thank you. Take care.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.